Hi and welcome to Rock Solid Sports, the only sports show in Knoxville with a home field advantage. I'm Sierra Galanza and I am here with Steve Spurrier and Lee Corso. You are watching our Week 9 preview where we will be talking about the UT South Carolina game playing at South Carolina. To start us off, gentlemen, what are the keys to the game for Tennessee?
Well, I'm glad in retirement I can analyze this game between one of my former teams, South Carolina, one of my four teams I owned in Tennessee. I think for Tennessee's offense, they got to get Jalen Hurd going. He had a rough go at against Alabama. I think over this bye week he's had time to get healthy, get better suited again to the offense. So I think he can have a big game against South Carolina. On defense for Tennessee, South Carolina's offense is terrible, especially since I left them last year. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, Tennessee's got to take care of business on the defensive side of the ball, especially with Darren Kirkland Jr. getting back at linebacker. That should definitely get back a lot of speed that been missed over the past few weeks.
Not so fast ball, coach.
Well,
it all comes down to one of the game maxims. Carry the fight to South Carolina and keep it there for 60 minutes. It's about playing a complete 60 minutes for Tennessee, getting off to a fast start offensively and defensively, and then pressuring the young quarterbacks for South Carolina.
Okay, very similarly, what are the keys to the game for South Carolina?
Well, South Carolina's got to do all they can to keep it a close one. This has been a close contest over the last few years. Last 4 meetings have been decided by a total of 11 points. So I think if South Carolina can keep it close, especially with that young, scrappy, talented defense of theirs, they can force Tennessee mistakes, force Josh Dobbs to make some late-game mistakes, I think. So they got to make sure that Jake Bentley, that new quarterback of theirs, he can build off a decent debut he had against UMass. Not a good pass defense. He's going to pay some better one against Tennessee. But you know, if he can get adjusted to the game, build off that performance, I think South Carolina can make it a close one.
Good call, ball coach.
Yep, thank you.
It's all about the young quarterbacks for South Carolina, and whichever one's in the game, protecting them, keeping them upright, giving them as much confidence as possible. And then for defensively for South Carolina, it's all about containing Josh Dobbs, or at least doing it to the best they can.
We'll see.
Okay, we all know that this is a big game for Tennessee, going down about 10 rankings in the top 25. So what players will you be looking at on UT?
Well, I think for offense, you got to look at that backup run back, John Kelly. Alvin Kamara is going to be out a few weeks with a knee injury, so John Kelly's role is going to be expanded a lot more. We saw him had a good game against Texas A&M, 89 rushing yards, so Jalen Hurts not going to be able to get going against South Carolina. They're going to have to get that route to John Kelly, see what he can do. Defensively, I'm looking at Corey Beverine opposite Derek Barnett. You see, Derek Barnett's had a great year, but there's Tennessee defensive line. They've been okay, but Derek Barnett needs some more help on that line. I think Corey Beverine can give it to him, especially if South Carolina's offensive line is going to try to double-team Barnett.
Not so fast ball, coach. Is all about the aerospace engineer, the quarterback, Josh Dobbs. He's going to carry this team as far as it can go. 2 years ago in Columbia when the Vols and the Gamecocks met, Josh Dobbs broke Tennessee records along with the real player they need to be watching out on defense, Derek Barnett. You got the wrong end of the line on that one, ball coach. It's all about Derek Barnett. He set a freshman record the last time these two teams met in Columbia with 3 sacks in a game, also tied the great Tennessee legend Leonard Little for 3 sacks in the game, the most all-time against the Gamecocks.
Okay, and what players will you be looking at on South Carolina?
Well, I already mentioned his name, Jake Bentley. Third quarterback South Carolina's went with this season so far. Took his redshirt off against UMass, like I said. Had a good little game, a little over 200 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, but has a real test against Tennessee. So gotta look out for that quarterback because he's gonna make all the difference that South Carolina offense that doesn't have that much of a running game. For defense, gotta look at Darius English along that defensive line. Has 6 sacks on the year. He's the cornerstone of that South Carolina pass rush. So if anyone's gonna make the difference along that South Carolina defense, it's gonna be Mr. English.
For South Carolina, it's all about whichever one of those young freshman QBs is going to be in their ball, coach. It's whether it's Brentley or McElwain, they've got to have confidence. They've got to make as few mistakes as possible for South Carolina to stay in this one. And then not so fast, you really should have learned your defense a little bit better there, ball coach. The real bread and butter of this defense is Bryson Allen Williams. Almost double-digit tackles the last 2 weeks, almost double-digit tackles in most of South Carolina's games. He gets double-digit tackles. South Carolina will keep it close.
He's good. I recruited him.
Also playing this week is number 4 Washington against number 17 Utah. Gentlemen, who do you guys have winning those games?
Well, it's going to be a tough test for Washington. You know, they've been relevant again, first time since the 90s. Really, it seems like the 90s coming back. Tennessee's even beating Florida once in a while. Not used to that much, but, you know, we're going to have to take what we got here. Washington Huskies got to ride this momentum. They're going to have a tough game. I think they're going to come out of it on the legs and the arm of that young quarterback Heisman contender, Jake Brown. I got the Huskies winning 27-23 over the Utes.
The quarterbacks in this one, Troy Williams and Jake Browning, they're going to put on a show, but only one team can win. The 90s are back. Go Huskies.
Also playing this week is number 14, Florida, against the unranked Georgia. Who do you have for this week?
Well, gotta talk about Georgia now. I always said back when I used to coach the Gators, I said, well, Georgia seems like they always have better players than us, and when it comes down to recruit, but when we play the games, it seems like we always have the better players. I don't know what the deal with that is. It seems like it's going to be pretty similar. They want to change the name of this rivalry from the world's largest outdoor cocktail party to the River City Showdown. I think it's the world's largest opportunity to see a complete stranger bombing in the middle of the day down there in Jacksonville. And Georgia's offense is going to do a lot of bombing, I think. Gators going to win 31-21, of course.
It's hard to win a game, Coach, when you've got a freshman quarterback and you can only depend on him to pass to give you a chance. Georgia has forgotten how to run the ball, and that means only one thing. Florida wins 28-24. Go Gators.
I knew you were smart, Coach. I knew you were smart.
Also playing is number 7, Nebraska, against number 11, Wisconsin, at Wisconsin. How about this one?
Well, another relevant 90s team, Nebraska. They're somehow undefeated in the top 10. They're going to come into Camp Randall. Tough environment, tough defense. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be the typical Big Ten lowest scoring slugfest. I've got Nebraska's undefeated season coming to a close, 14-10 Badgers.
Not so fast, my friend.
We'll see.
Nebraska
We'll see.
is going to prevail 31-28. The Badger defense won't have enough to offense won't have enough to keep up. Go Cornhuskers.
Number 3, Clemson, is playing number 12, Florida State, at Florida State. Who do you have for this game?
Oh, FSU, Free Shoes University. I have a lot of history down there with Seminoles. I also got a lot of history with Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach. Never beat me too much. I don't know what the deal does with that, and I don't think he's going to be able to beat Jimbo Fisher and the Noles down in Tallahassee. Tough environment there. It's going to be a good test for that Clemson offense and Deshaun Watson. I think the Noles force them into too many mistakes. Got the Seminoles 35-31.
I got a feeling some things are going to get shaken up this week, Coach. But you know, you're not the only one who has some history down in the state of Florida.
That's true.
I got a little history myself down at Florida State. Let chaos reign. Go Seminoles.
Our FCS game of the week is Eastern Washington versus Montana. Who do you have for that game?
Don't really know much about both of these teams. Looked at their box scores real quick. They have a lot of offense. Reminds me of the fun and gun I ran at Florida in the 90s. Eastern Washington has a bit more explosive offense, and plus they got that red field there. So I got Eastern Washington winning 48-44 over Montana.
Montana, they used to be one of the best teams in the FCS. Keyword, used to. Go Eastern Washington 63-34.
Okay.
Red field.
Last but certainly not least, number 18, UT, is playing at South Carolina, who is unranked. Who do you have for this team?
Well, this rivalry's been close, like I said. Past 4 games been decided by 11 points. It's been a pretty close rivalry since the turn millennium, and I helped get a couple wins over UT when I was down there in Columbia, but much of it makes me mad. I just want to throw my visor down there like I used to be on the sidelines again. Got UT prevailing a close one, 21-17.
Smart call.
Boom.
You didn't leave very much in the cupboard for old Will Muschamp.
Nope. I like golfing too much.
And I got to bring someone up. Come here, Smokey. Smokey, I'm sorry I betrayed you. I have to do this. Give me a good old Rocky Top, Tennessee 41-14.
Well, there you have it. That was Rock Solid Sports Week 9 preview, previewing the UT South Carolina game. If you want to watch that game, it will be on ESPN2. Kickoff is at 7:30. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.